Hi, this is Sam and Nat. We're back for round one, game two of the Tokyo MTG Vintage Open. We're still watching Shops versus Bug Oath in round one. Shops got game one pretty quickly with a smokestack lockout combined with Mishra's Factory beatdown. So
Looks like he has another smokestack this game too.
yeah, and the Oath player would potentially have turn one Oath.
Yep, looked like polluted delta, lotus petal oath, plays the delta and passes.
So I mean that's always a question. Like I would certainly have gone for Oath there. I think that's your direct route to victory, right?
Yeah. Interesting thing is you don't have a way to give them creatures yet.
Right, but I mean, I'm not sure I necessarily worry about that.
And there's the creature.
Yeah, and your opponent plays the creature for you. I guess the question would be the shop player didn't actually see any Oath components last game, so
Oh yeah, he may not know
his
that he's
opponent
on.
might not know he's on Oath. Shop's player opened with Phyrexia and Revoker, naming Black Lotus, always a good call.
Yeah.
I guess the one risk is that it's a restricted card, but I mean really, Oath is, Black Lotus is such a dominant card, such a coup to put yourself that far ahead.
Yeah, it lets you do so many broken things so fast.
Right. The Oath player is he actually has another trick up his sleeve. He's actually got Energy Flux there, which is
Moving around.
yeah. It's a card. It doesn't show up all that often in Vintage, but it's very good against workshops. It gives all artifacts an upkeep of 2, and that upkeep can't be paid using workshop mana. So,
which is very interesting.
yeah, I mean he's essentially already traded 2 for 1 there. He's got his opponent's Moxes eaten, both of his Moxes paid for the Phyrexia and Revoker.
Yep, and then he just sacrificed them.
Yeah, and he's passed back, and the Oath player has resolved Oath. So things already looking good for Oath. The only problem is that he doesn't have a way to activate. Oath, and his opponent has Mishra's Factory in play. Like,
yeah,
Mishra's Factory won't trigger Oath and could potentially start beating down like it is right here.
Yep. Definitely smart of the shop player to sacrifice that Revoker.
Right. Oh yeah. Yeah, and
Energy Flux almost helped him out in that situation.
Right. And Mishra's Factory is a relatively fast clock, especially if he gets a second non-workshop land in play. Basically, so he can activate one factory and pump with the other, or if he gets
can activate both even.
Yeah, if he gets Ancient Tomb and could start attacking for 4 a turn, that's pretty quick in this kind of matchup. Like, the Oath player has sort of slowed himself down. The Oath player is going to be digging for Forbidden Orchard, so he's got some time. Yeah, we're just passing back and forth. He's taking 2 a turn.
And he gets the workshop. Doesn't help with the factories, but
yeah, workshop not the greatest here. I mean, it would have been a lot better to find another regular mana producing land. He does have Tolarian Academy.
Ooh, smokestack.
And now he's got smokestack, which the Oath player quickly counters this time, perhaps remembering last turn. But yeah, actually, if the Shops player can get a few artifacts in play and start really using Tolarian Academy, he could start to make a comeback. I think it's tricky, but
yeah, Tolarian Academy really helps to pay for your artifacts with Energy Flux out.
So we've got Workshop player is playing Tanglewire, which got countered, straight up counterspelled.
Counterspell.
Yeah, we don't see counterspell a whole lot. Normally it's in Vintage you'd see mana drain.
Yep.
There's not always a lot to drain into in some Vintage decks. So counterspell's not a terrible replacement, and it does counter everything.
Yeah, essentially the same card, just you don't get the free mana every now and then.
Right.
Used to matter back when mana burn was a real thing.
Right. So the other player's actually gotten strip mine here, which is interesting. He can either sort of stem the bleeding and take out one of those factories, or he could take out Tolarian Academy, which is a big mana producer that could eventually turn the tide against Energy Flux.
Definitely.
He's got some options there.
I suppose he can always wait for his opponent to attack with a factory as well.
Right. Yeah. He can save himself specific damage rather than just taking out something at random.
It looks like he's in single-digit life total as well.
Yeah, he looks like he's at 6.
I think the dice says 6, maybe 8, but I think it's 6.
Yeah. Yeah, the dice do appear down at the bottom of the screen there. They get sort of bumped around a little bit, but we can usually make those out. Mm-hmm. I think the workshop player is still at 20, and the oath player is at 6, having taken several damage from the Mishra's factories as well as some Force of Wills and fetch lands. So.
Yep. How did he pay for Mox Sapphire?
I'm not sure. he might have.
He's doing it right now.
I think he may have just.
No. I don't know.
Oh,
that's another Tangle Wire.
We may have missed something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Energy Flux does give an upkeep of 2, so he would have had to pay 2 for the Mox Sapphire. Mm-hmm. Hoping to set his opponent back a little bit with Tangle Wire. You can't actually tap enchantments to Tangle Wire, so his opponent really only has 3 meaningful permanents in play to use there, and he does tap them all.
That's something I never realized about Tangle Wire.
Yeah, it's it doesn't usually come up, but Tangle Wire is just artifacts, creatures, and lands. So
there he gets the orchard.
Yeah, you can't tap enchantments, and you can't tap planeswalkers.
Oh yeah, planeswalkers.
But yeah, so the oath player did dig into the orchard, so looks like he's gonna get to oath here, or on his upkeep, unless something drastic happens. The workshop player is trying to navigate the Energy Flux along with the Tangle Wire that he played himself.
Yeah.
So he's he may have created more problems for himself than he than he meant to. Yeah, he's gonna. Looks like he tapped the Sapphire, or tapped the Tolarian to pay for the Tangle Wire.
Oh, and the Sapphire.
And had to tap everything else.
Oh, okay. And then just lost the Sapphire.
Right, and his opponent gave him a Spirit token at the end of turn, and is going to oath right here. Getting a Grizzlebrand in play without more than 7 life is...
top card.
Yeah. So yeah, Grizzlebrand top card in his library. He was lucky there that he didn't draw it.
I believe he is at 6 life.
Yeah,
he
not going to draw anything.
This gets a little confusing now.
Yeah, so his opponent has a Tangle Wire that he needs to pay 2 mana for if he wants to keep it in play, and he's got
2 permanents to tap.
Yeah,
he's just going to lose it.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's still got to tap down to it. But so he's got the workshop player actually has Phyrexian Revoker, which is an interesting counter at this point to Grizzlebrand.
Yeah.
He could shut off the Grizzlebrand ability.
Unless he can counter it now.
And
ooh, Brainstorm.
His opponent is going to Brainstorm, try and see if he can find a counter, an answer to that Revoker.
Yeah.
I mean, actually having a 7/7 flying lifelinker is still pretty good against a 2/1 creature.
For a workshop player to beat.
But
yep, that's Grizzlebrand.
Yeah. Oh, he's
got another one.
He has a backup as well.
And he's gonna name Grizzlebrand again,
just in case. So the oath player won't be able to use Grizzlebrand unless he can get rid of both of those, or he's going to be looking for something like Hercule's Recall or...
Yeah. I think the Energy Flux is going to do work, though, next turn.
Yeah. Yeah, and his opponent is still dealing with the Energy Flux in play, which is going to be trouble for him.
Mm-hmm.
Has been all game. But...
Yeah, I think swing in, get the 7 life.
Yeah. So Grizzlebrand is going to take a huge bite out of the opponent there. And let's see if he actually has anything else. I'm surprised he hasn't used that strip mine yet.
Oh, that would be so good right now.
Oh, we have a...
That's probably better.
Maybe that's why he didn't. He's got a second Energy Flux. So now all artifacts require an upkeep of 4.
Oh, he was going to keep the Revokers around, too.
Yeah, he could have kept at least one, and now he can't. He's falling farther and farther behind. I'm not sure he can come back from...
So what did he tap the Tolarian for? Did he activate the factories?
I think he activated the factories.
Okay.
So his opponent, his opponent went up to 13. He went up to 11 with the attack from the Grizzlebrand, and Workshop player is going to send him back to 7 by attacking with the factories.
And the Spirit Token.
Yeah, and the Spirit Token, right. So he's actually at 6 then, right?
Or maybe he was at 12? I don't know. I feel like he went down to 7. It's either 7 or 6. We lost the dice.
Yeah, we can't see the dice now. But we have the Workshop player that plays Lodestone Golem. If
I think it says 6.
Yeah. So Oath player is at 6. Workshop player is threatening lethal. So I'm not sure the... Let's see, the Oath player would go back up to 13. So, I mean, he could attack here and just use the life to stay alive.
Is he threatening lethal?
No, I was wrong. He's not. He's threatening lethal now, but...
He's 1 mana short of keeping the Lodestone.
Right. If the Oath player attacks here, he's not threatening lethal anymore. So he's... the Grizzlebrand is really... messing up a lot of combat math, but he's not using it to attack.
No matter what. Why? That's interesting.
Well, he could have kept it, but he would have had to tap both factories to keep it.
But he's got
he's got 4, right? I forgot he has 4.
So and then Tolarian only made 1.
Let's see if you.
This is interesting.
Activate.
I'm surprised the Grizzlebrand didn't attack in that situation then.
Yeah, I am too. So the Workshop...
Maybe he didn't realize that the Lodestone would have to be sacrificed.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of elements to be taken into consideration in these games. There's a lot of upkeep, a lot of combat going on. Players are relatively low life, so
just keeping track of the board state is difficult in itself in this kind of matchup.
Right. So the Workshop player actually found and played Staff of Nin. So that's a card that we don't actually see all that much of.
No. I like to see it though.
Yeah, it shows up every once in a while. It's very it has a lot of interesting sort of toolbox uses. It can remove creatures with 1 toughness. It deals a damage. I mean, it eats away at your opponent without attacking, so you can play things like Ensnaring Bridge.
It's a artifact draw engine for shops.
Yeah,
it's really needs.
It's a one-sided Howling Mine, which is, like you said, something that shops can always appreciate. Mm-hmm. And here, the Workshop player is going to use it to remove the Spirit Token.
He's going to Oath himself.
His opponent now has more creatures in play than he does, so he can activate Oath. I mean, this, depending on what he has in his deck,
this could get interesting.
Yeah, the game could really turn around here. If he has Duplicant or Phyrexia Metamorph.
Metamorph.
Either of those would be an interesting draw here. But we'll see what he's got.
Steel Hellkite.
Steel Hellkite.
Is it a 5/5 or a 6/6?
It's a 5/5. So it doesn't stack up favorably against Grizzlebrand, and it can't attack here. Unfortunately, if it could, he'd be able to use it to attack, and he could remove his opponent's energy fluxes, if not just outright kill him. And his opponent's at 12, so he wouldn't be able to kill him.
Yeah, he has 3. 5
so
now.
it's an interesting interesting card to find. It doesn't help quite as much as others, but it's certainly not the worst thing. I mean,
yeah, and it does have the Fire Blast effect. Or
right,
Fire breathing, yeah, for 2 mana.
Right.
So he could realistically block the Gristlebrand.
Right. And actually, he could block and kill it if
he's got enough mana.
He tried. But we're gonna see.
What's he gonna do?
I think by itself, the Hellkite isn't quite enough to.
It looks like
turn the game around.
Both players at 12 life. This is probably gonna start getting out of hand here.
Yeah. So the other player chooses to use the Strip Mine here, and he's gonna use it on the Workshop,
which I think is interesting. I would probably go for the Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, it's for me. It would either be Ancient Tomb or Tolarian Academy.
Yeah, since Workshop can't actually pay for the Energy Flux upkeep.
Right. I mean, I'm not. I think you're.
It shuts him off from playing a lot of things.
Right.
But I think the Energy Flux is more important.
Right. Yeah. The actual non-Workshop mana seems a lot more important to the Workshop player right now. He has Energy Flux to think about. He's got Steel Hellkite mana to think about. I mean, he's got activating Mishra's Factories to consider. He needs real mana, not Workshop mana.
Exactly.
But
it's odd how awesome Workshop mana is in the early game, and then the late game you want real mana.
Well, it all depends on what you have, you have in play. Like I said, the Steel Hellkite I don't think is going to be enough to turn things around. But,
see what the player does. He's thinking about something.
Yeah.
Demonic
Tutor. I guess he's already played Time Walk, so he can't double Time Walk.
Yeah.
Or he can't double attack, rather. I wonder if he just has... I wonder if he has removal for the Hellkite. I mean, he could just attack for the win.
This is game 2, so I'm sure he brought something in.
Yeah. I mean, there would be any number of artifact removal spells. Let's see.
Drum roll.
That's Nature's Claim.
Nature's Claim.
Yeah, he's going to get rid of the Hellkite and get in with the attack there.
Opponent gains 4 life. I'm not sure what he's...
Yeah.
Oh, did not draw something to get out of there.
I think he's going to scoop. These two are going to go to game 3.